Hey guys, here to review Crypt Infection's latest release, Haruspication. And this was released in 2010. This is a 6-track EP/demo of technical brutal death metal. For those of you who don't know who Crypt Infection are, they formed around 2009 in California, and in 2010 they released this amazing brutal technical release, as I said. And they're a 4-piece technical brutal death metal band, as many times as I've said that. I have horrible sunburn for those of you going to comment on that. So, let's get into this. Let's be honest, the first time I popped this into my CD player, I didn't like this. It took about 2 days for this album to grow on me, and most of the reason being was the vocals, really. But as I listened to the vocals more and more, they became original and creative and just awesome and brutal. But yeah, first time I listened to this, wasn't really that good. Took a little while to grow on me, but by all means, this is a great, brutal release. Don't let the vocals turn you down. Guitars are great. Vocals are great after you listen to them. They just take a little while to grow on you. Drums and bass are all great. So let's get into the review. The vocals. The vocals are very pig squealish, but they're not your average death metal vocals. They're not your average just raw, deep, low, guttural vocals. They're actually a mix of a guttural and a high scream. They have, like, best way to describe it is really a guttural, like, and then you have your high scream. And then you have your... Yeah. Really, honestly, it's the best way I can describe it. I don't know how this guy does his vocals, but it's great. Now, as I said, first time I listened to this, the vocals didn't really pick up on me. I didn't really care too much for the vocals. That's my personal opinion. But after I listened to this album, oh my gosh. Like 2 days after I got this album, I was listening to it, the vocals grew on me so much that I'm actually just like in the car trying to learn how to do the scream. Very great, very original vocals. They won't get repetitive on you, and you can understand what he's saying. If you're a person who screams or someone who's been listening to death metal and brutal death metal for quite a while now, you actually understand what he's saying. And my favorite pronunciations that you can hear him say stuff in is definitely the second track, Haruspication, where he's like, anarchy, something, anarchy. And as soon as I heard anarchy, I was just like, oh, brutal, right here. So yeah, definitely, vocals took a little while to grow on me, but by all means, they're good. Guitars. Now, the instrumentals on this album, the drums, the bass, the guitar, didn't really get into the technicality until the third track. The first two tracks, they really stay on their brutal death metal average approach. Nothing really that creative. The vocals are really what stuck out to me the most. But after you get past the first two tracks, you hit the technical death metal. Mountain of Filth starts with this awesome guitar noodle, awesome guitar solo, just right off the bat. As soon as the second track ends, it's like, and it's just brutal, insane, and fast. So the guitars on this album, very original, very technical after the third track. I say for the first two tracks, they stay on their brutal death metal approach. They don't really go exploring anywhere with their guitars. Really, second track with the guitars didn't really hit me off that much. Sorry guys, but that's my personal opinion. So guitars, very fast-paced, very original, very creative. Guitars and vocals, fantastic. Bass. Bass is actually something you can hear in this album. It is a 4-piece, so you really need another instrument to fill up the bass, unless you're like Rest and Gore and you just got the guitar and the bass and the drums. So, bass in this album, very great. You can hear it throughout the album, and especially in the second track. When the second track first starts off, and then, as I said, the anarchy part, you can really hear the bass prominent. Like right there in that track, the second track is definitely where I can hear the bass. You can hear doosh, 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 and just heavy bass. Nice, fantastic bass. All in all, though, this album's great. I got one more. Drums. The drums, I didn't really have a complaint for, which was odd because I thought they were slow at first, but I must have been just having an off day the first day I listened to this album. But drums, very fast-paced, technical at times, and then they slow down, which was a little bit of a part to me. But that's really, as I said, only in the brutal death metal tracks, the Haruspication and the 1%. But yeah. So quality production on this album, fantastic. You can hear the guitar fine, you can hear the vocals fine, you can hear the drums fine, you can hear the bass fine if you're listening for it. If you're really just trying to hear the bass, you can hear it. The vocals definitely stick out. Now, things I like about this album, vocals. As I said, the vocals took a little while to grow on me. Not a lot of people like me saying that. I understand the band might get a little mad, but the vocals did take a little while to grow on me. And after listening to this album so many times, really dig the vocals, really nice, really creative. I'm glad they didn't stick with the average all the rah-rah and all that stuff, and they went to a different vocal approach. So yeah, vocals, guitars are definitely what stick out to me the most, and drums. The bass I'm kind of iffy on, but I've always been iffy on bass. Do not let that, if you're a bass person, do not let that determine your vibe of this album. Definitely worth picking up though. Great, brutal release. As I said, if this was in 2010 or 2011, I would have this in my top 5, definitely, probably number 3. This is really great, brutal release. Check these guys out, Facebook, their website, get a shirt from them. Brutal guys, honest guys, great band, great solid production. Now, the one track I don't like on this album, and I know everybody's gonna be like, oh my gosh, you don't like this track, is the first track, the 1%. Whoever may get mad at me, I'm being an honest reviewer. I'm tired of just saying, oh, this is good, I'm going to give some dislikes on this. The only dislike I have on this album is the 1%, and it's just because of the chorus. This vocals has a chorus throughout the album, at least in a few songs, and the first one in the 1% is I Breatheless, but I'm not a fan of the vocals, so he's like, I breathless. And I'm not like a fan of breathe. I'm not a fan of it, never have been. But all that is my personal opinion. All in all, great album except for the 1%. Honestly, if I was going to give this album like a review, I'd give this a 9.5, but simply only because of the first track. All in all, the rest of these tracks are great, original, creative, as I said. So definitely check out this band, Crypt Infection. And I hope this review wasn't all over the place. I have a lot of people telling me, hey, be yourself and try to be different. So yeah, try to be myself, try to be different. Hope you guys all enjoyed the review. Thank you guys. Have a good day.